This is part two for spiritually traversing grief and how grief may be holding your life back. And like I said in part one, it's based on my grief journey, but that grief is not just to do with someone physically leaving this realm. It can be to do with a loss of any type. So I've noticed that a struggle with being spiritual and traversing grief is that you try to intellectualize it spiritually. You will often have people say things to you about the fact that the person is still around you in spirit, which is nice, don't get me wrong. But it kind of, instead of doing the physical process of grief, you're trying to spiritually make yourself feel okay because it feels right. You've got all these spiritual answers as to what this grief means. Yet, the reality is you have to go through the feelings as a human, and as you stop the feelings, as you try and intellectualize them, you also are creating resistance to the process of change within your life, which stops you moving forward. And once again, like I said in part one, you may have a feeling like there's an outer force that's stopping your life moving forward. There's an outer power, when the reality is the power that's stopping it is that you're trying so hard to understand the pain using all these spiritual concepts that you know that the human side of you is struggling and living with this feeling, like I said in part one, that's akin to fear. And it stops your progress because, as we know, we have to be in acceptance of cycles, and when we're not in acceptance of the cycle, new cycles can't begin. So sometimes our spiritual understanding and our intellectual understanding can actually get in the way of allowing ourselves to sit in the grief of whatever it is we've lost, whether it's a partner, a relationship, like a friendship, a job, anything. So I'd say sometimes let yourself be human, because the human side needs to feel and go through the process, and then, only then, can you spiritually be in acceptance and understand what you're going through. So don't let your spirituality or your wisdom and intellect get in the way of really feeling what you need to as a human to be able to move forward in some kind of acceptance of the new normal for you. Namaste.